Yeah. My wife is an incredible lady.
Yeah?
There's not very many.
Yeah, you should talk about her. Did you
I
meet
met her
at school?
No, I actually met her on Tinder.
All right. Well, Tyler Busker, welcome, man.
Hello.
Welcome. So I always love, like, it's not that I don't love all my guests, but I'm always excited to talk to like people who have known me longer than a couple of years. So I would say we go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way back. I mean, for some reason, all of my friends were either Logan's friends or Lane's friends.
Yeah.
And I definitely got along with you, Spence. It was you, Spencer, Lane, a little bit of Ryan in there, but mostly like if we were partying at our house, it was the three of you, or was there more? Kobe, a little bit in there.
Yeah, mostly your first three.
Yeah, mostly those three. So those were some fun. Oh, yeah. Good.
Because were you 4 years ahead of us? Three.
So
because when you were a senior, we were freshmen. Yep. So we were in 5th grade and you were in 8th grade.
Yep.
Yeah. When you got here, right?
We moved. You would have been in 4th grade.
I was in 4th. You were in 7th.
Grade.
Okay.
Lane was in 4th.
Okay.
Who was your 4th grade teacher?
Mrs. Greer.
Mrs. Greer. All right.
I don't think
Lane in that class.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember.
When did you become friends with Lane? Lane's my little brother.
That's a great question. I don't know.
You have the same 5th grade teacher? Who's your 5th grade teacher?
Sherry Dodson.
No. I bet you guys had the same one.
Maybe we did. I really don't. I think baseball.
Yeah.
I think baseball is how we became friends.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure.
You remember when he broke his arm?
Yep.
Were you there?
No, he was jumping over a tennis net trying to impress a lady.
Don't say who.
I'm not going to.
Don't say who.
He's just trying to impress a lady.
He was.
Yeah.
And that's what you did when you were little. You were like, I'm the fastest. Or I'm going to kick the kickball the furthest. Or
watch me jump over this
tennis net.
Oh, yeah.
Lane compound fractured his arm, meaning his arm came out of his skin.
At a CMU track meet.
It was Fayette. And if he had been watching me run an 8-minute mile and take 8th place, that would not have happened to him. They had me running the mile. I had asthma.
Yeah.
I was puffing my inhaler at the end of each lap. Like, I felt like I was on like a Make-A-Wish episode. They're like, we're going to make this kid run the lap and then give him some chocolate after. But instead, Blaine broke his arm and went to the hospital.
Walking through the crowd yelling for his mom.
Yeah.
With his bone hanging out.
Yeah. Anyway, you're from here? Like, were you born here?
Yeah. So.
Like born in Fayette?
No, born in Columbia. Okay. Born in Columbia, but lived within 4 miles of, well, with the exception of college. And then after I got out of college for a couple of years, I'm 4 miles away from where I grew up. Because we started in Southeast Howard County. And then when I was 8, our house burned down. And so we moved for however long it took for the house to get built, which they built it quick. It was like 8 months. We were back in. It burned down. No, it was quicker than that. Our house burned down in February, and we moved in June.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back when people worked.
Jason Eves built our house.
Really?
Yep.
What's he up to these days?
Not doing super great, I don't think.
Do you know where he is?
No.
I don't know where he is. I remember the Eves crew.
He's extremely, extremely talented builder.
Yeah.
Extremely talented builder.
Yeah, that was back when people were working in the trades, which desperately hope that more of that continues. But yeah, give us like the start back to whatever part of your story you want to start at and go. You're the oldest in your crew, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. So yeah, I was born in Columbia and grew up in Southeast Howard County.
Where in Southeast?
Off South A, off 124.
Oh, same spot you've been?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Why do I think that that's Northeast?
Nope. You're thinking like Burton.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, like Southeast is like where my family's at. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little further.
Karen's
a little
Corner
further
Post
east.
General Store? That's Southeast Howard County.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm thinking like
it is.
I'm thinking like Boonesboro area.
No, you'd be far west. Yep. Anyways,
I've got a map of the United States from 1847, but don't have my directions figured. Have you ever seen that thing?
No, I'd love to look at it. I can't do it right now because I'll be distracted.
It's terrible podcast material again. But anyway, go ahead. I'll shut up.
No, you're good. Yeah. So grew up here. Boy, what all do you want to know?
I don't know.
Just
what
like my origin story.
Sure.
Let's see.
I don't know. You grew up country boy?
Yeah.
Okay. Like farm kid?
kind of a what would you call it? A little bit of a not a hypocrisy, but a little bit of a conundrum because I like school. I like to learn. I like to read. But I also love the outdoors from a very, very young age. I remember my dad was extremely good about taking him with me to do everything. I go with him to do everything. And so I remember being like probably 4 and going deer hunting with him. Like we didn't get anything, but going with him. And then I definitely love the outdoors. And I actually do more now than, I hunt, trap, fish, the river, travel all over to chase turkeys. But yeah, so grew up liking to hunt. Dad's an arborist, so I grew up with an inborn fondness, I guess you'd say, for plants a little bit.
Okay.
Which is maybe a little odd, but
not in the vegan way, but
no, like just
in the conservation way.
An interest in how they work, I guess.
I remember that, dude. You when you knew the trees, we would just be going around and be like, "That's an ash," and I'm like,
"Yeah,
cool."
Yeah,
but there's been times I really wish I had that skill.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
especially in the deer woods, man. Being able to your different oak trees drop at different times, and there's a lot of
I know
advantages.
Where the acorns are at.
Yeah.
Clearly know what a walnut tree is.
Yeah.
Cedar.
Let's see. Went through Fayette. All my years of education there. Then I actually went to North Central, so I did A+, and then I went on to North Central Missouri College.
In Trenton?
Yep, which is in Trenton. Yep. They had just built a brand new facility when I got there. They basically had unlimited funding to build their new ag facility.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I mean, they had nobody told them no. The ag teacher that was there, his name was Mr. Nolan. He said, we just told him what we wanted, and they said, we'll write a check. So it was awesome. And he was a super...
Who wrote the check?
People that were donating.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a...
they had people donating.
Like a government PSYOP, only good for agriculture. But,
yeah.
Okay.
No, they had private donation, and they just wet the pen, made it happen.
Awesome.
So yeah, that was a very good school. Mr. Nolan was a great teacher. And then while I was there, I'll try to stop saying while I was there, I started working for some farmers out there and learned a ton working for them. Learned how to work on stuff, learned how to drive a semi, met one of my best friends that I still talk to every single day, even though, we get to see each other probably a couple times a year, but our boys are born 10 days apart. We got married I think he got married on the 12th and I got married on the 3rd. So 9 days apart. So
what's your friend's name?
McCormick Campbell.
Is that his first name?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Call him Mac.
I know, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. No, he's got a brother named Heston. He's the oldest. It went McCormick, which is McCormick Deering. And then the middle son, they gave up on it, named him Wade. And then they went to Heston. So I don't know. I've asked his parents about it. They don't have a good reason.
McCormick made me think of the Spice Company was my first thought.
Yeah.
That's because I got more experience in the kitchen than in the woods, though, sadly. But, well, not sadly. Everybody's got to do their part. You got to shoot them. Somebody's got to cook them well.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So I was majoring in agronomy with a minor in ag business. I did a year and a half. No, 2. I did a year and a half at Trenton. I had enough college credits coming through, and then I transferred to Northwest. Found a farmer out there I worked through my agronomy degree. Got done with college in 3.5 years. So I graduated in December of 2019 and started working for MFA as an agronomist. Or I guess I was technically a crop consultant, but whatever.
I remember asking you at Rotary what that meant.
Yeah. I was basically a crop doctor. That's what I did.
Crop doctor. That should be the title. Tyler Busker, crop doctor.
Ex crop doctor.
You could still do it, right?
Oh yeah. I
don't have the license.
I loved I used to have my drone license and everything. And I wasn't a certified agronomist. Missouri has like a certified CCA, certified crop advisor is what they call it. I didn't take the test for that.
It's like a test and everything.
Oh yeah, it's hard.
This podcast is brought to you by Nobody. That's right. Nobody paid for this spot. But this could be your business ad, personally attested to by me with a personalized recommendation. Obviously, I have to like, your product, but I will personally attest to this ad slot. And if you're trying to reach the ears of Fayette, this is the place to do it. So if you want to advertise here, please email us at landonballstudios@gmail.com. That's LandonBallstudios@gmail.com. I would
hard.
assume it's like so I'm passing on my financial advising tests right now. And I'm realizing when I'm in those tests, you have to take a test like, I know this is kind of off topic. You have to take a test to like be in the PGA. Like if you want to play professional golf, there's an exam, just like your exam that you're talking about. And they said on some of these exams, you don't find out if you pass for like 8 months.
Ooh, that's rough.
I cannot handle that. When we hit pass or fail, it tells me right there if I pass. But anyway, so big test to do that, and you never did that.
No, I didn't. I was working on. I'd been there long enough that it was time to go ahead and do it.
Sure.
And then, so I was at MFA for like 4.5 years, and then we need to back up. We've gone too far forward.
It's fine. We've plenty of time.
The spring of 2021, I think it was the spring of 2021. A lot of things happened. Met my wife, started dating her.
Cool.
Went down to Florida turkey hunting on public ground and met a guy from New Jersey that had been doing taxidermy for 40 years. And I'd been like just interested in it.
I would have circled back to this, by the way, just I was not going to let us not talk about how you got into taxidermy.
Yeah,
but I'm very curious about this story.
The timeline. There's it has to do with my exit.
You're more congruent. That's smart.
My exit at MFA. So met a guy named John Noon, super duper guy, and you can only hunt till 1 in Florida. So we'd hunt, and then we get back to the campfire and be able to talk for 8 or 10 hours. Ended up getting his phone number, and that August I flew out to New Jersey.
How on earth? What did you go down to Florida for?
Turkeys.
But like, did you know a guy? Or?
No, it's public ground.
So you just tell me how that goes about. Like you decide to go to. I'm going to go to a swamp and hunt turkey.
Oh, it was awesome.
Google it.
It was awesome. No, actually, that's not true. I have a. Oh goodness, one of Graham's sister's children. He'd be, I don't know what he'd be, like a 4th or 5th cousin, lives down there and turkey hunts.
All right.
And he had the public ground that I was on is a quota area, meaning it's very much public ground, but there's a limited amount of people. So he had a quota tag, and I just was wanting to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
I hadn't killed an Osceola. There's 4 subspecies of, you probably haven't covered any of that on your podcast.
Not on the podcast, but I mean, you know who Steve Ranella is, obviously.
Yeah.
Did you see him on Theo Vaughn's podcast?
No.
So Theo Vaughn kind of makes a jab at turkeys, like calls him a dumb animal.
Really?
And Steve goes off on him in the funniest way.
Like
he ends his like a 10-minute rant talking about how interesting turkeys are by going like, he's like, you have me on and disparage the coolest bird and the guy who loves turkeys the most. He goes, you don't know me. That's what he said. We're just like, you don't know me. But anyway, because
Theo Vaughn hunted with Michael Waddell.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I would love
ridiculous, man.
I would like the pinnacle of podcast world for me would be getting like Theo Vaughn on or something.
Really?
So book it, Cody, or you're fired.
Book it. Yeah.
I need you to
get more than 152 subscribers.
More
working on it. All right.
There you go. There you go.
Anyway, so Florida.
Yeah. So went down there
because you wanted to shoot a
Osceola. There's 4 subspecies. Merriam's. There's Merriam's, Rio Grande, Eastern, which is what we have here, and Osceola. Osceolas are only found in the southern half of Florida.
Okay. What's special about them? Are they colorful?
They have the barring on their wings is typically darker.
Okay.
They gobble a little less. They can have. I mean, there's varieties. Like there's variance with every bird. Usually their spurs are supposed to be a little longer and a little sharper. The main thing is the barring on their wings. So like our birds here will be like a mix of white and black. Merriam's will be real white. And then the Osceolas will be pretty dark.
Yeah.
But
is it like a goal of yours to hunt all 4 of them?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I already did.
You already did.
Yeah.
Was that why you went to go do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I went down there and got my Osceola. And then I think the next year I went to South Dakota and killed my Merriam's and finished it.
Sweet.
So, yep. Met John Noon, went out there and went out to New Jersey. So I met him in Florida. Then I flew out to New Jersey.
Two of
And-
the worst states in America.
Oh man,
Sorry.
New Jersey they got a lot of black bears. But other than that, dude, it's awful.
And drones.
I
Sorry.
flew out of I flew out of Newark, which is where
Yeah.
the 9/11 planes flew out of, which was, I mean, obviously they fly a lot of planes out of there every
Did
day.
they have any like memorial stuff there?
They had something about it. That's how I found out.
Mm.
That is the worst airport ever.
When was the first time you flew in your life?
Oh, I was probably like 8. We went to Colorado.
Oh, okay.
8 or
So
9.
You've been
Yeah,
a lot of people from here like have never flown.
No, I flew all the way to Nicaragua.
Oh, nice.
That was sporty, buddy.
Why?
When we landed in Managua, yes, sir. Oh, I shouldn't whistle.
When
probably.
did you go?
Probably my sophomore year of college. Went on a mission trip down there
Wow.
with the church in Trenton. Yep.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. We
No,
can get
you're
back to
good.
all that.
No, you're good, man.
Florida.
You're good.
John Noon.
John Noon.
Jersey.
Yep. Learned
Okay.
learned the basics of mounting whitetails. I've learned a ton since then, but he's been an awesome source of information about all kinds of things taxidermy. He's been doing it a long time. I got some guys that are going to go to Africa, and he has an Africa contact, and you probably don't know anything about it. There's a nightmare of paperwork and brokerage to get your hides back home.
Dude, I can barely get a rock back from like Colorado. So I can imagine.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
So he's got a good contact for that, and like being able to call him and be like, hey, I got guys asking about this. And it ends up bringing in more business for me because they'll probably all use me if they can use that one broker. But
almost like an FAA for taxidermy, right?
what's an FAA?
Like your
I don't know what that is. Financial advisor?
No. Like your firearms dealers, like
FFL.
FFL. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
I'm with
Is
you.
it the FAA, the drone stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
I was like, I don't know.
It's all.
I was
all
thinking
three
like
brain cells are in a tornado spin right now. but
financial advisor
No.
something. I don't know. I
I
didn't
wasn't
know.
trying to relate it back to me. No, we're
No,
good.
you're good. Yep. No, sort of like an FFL. Yeah. So John Noon's been awesome.
Is he like old?
He's 60. 60.
he'll
No,
listen to this.
he's probably 61 or 2 now.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So it's not like he's like in his 80s and you're like learning his final skills. Like he's still well in the business and getting
Yeah,
after it.
he's never worked taxidermy full time. He works a full-time job. He's always had a sales job. He used to sell water heaters. I don't know for sure what he's selling now, but the man works hard.
Yeah.
He'd mount 100 deer a year and have a full-time job.
Wow.
I mean, he
What do
worked
people pay for like a full mount?
shoulder mount.
Yeah.
I can't
Like
remember.
those 100 mounts he did. Like
I can't
I'm gonna
remember
do the
what
math.
he was at 500 for a long time.
Dude, so he's making
Well,
doing
that
all
was
right.
a while ago. I think he's at 700 now.
sure, but let's say he did 100 a year.
It's decent
good.
extra money.
Yeah, 50 grand. That's not chump change at all. You know, doing 100 deer on the side.
No.
That's a full man's salary in some place. So.
Yeah. Yep. Trying to think of where to. So we backtracked. I backtracked back to 2021. Met John Noon. So I got started in taxidermy
Right.
and was working with MFA, but it worked really well because during the summer I was super busy. I was slammed, but then fall would still be decently busy.
Yeah.
But wintertime,
Seasonal business.
I was fairly free. We'd have meetings and stuff, but I was fairly free. So started advertising a little bit for taxidermy, and I started off just doing European mounts. And then the next year, I started doing shoulder mounts, and it has grown. It started growing, and every year has been pretty much double. So whatever I took in the year before, the following year has been nearly double.
Awesome.
Which I don't getting to the point where I think the curve is going to start to become a little more linear now this year, but that already ahead of where I was last year. But as the taxidermy business was growing, had some opportunities to move up the ladder at MFA, and I never wanted to sell seed. I didn't want to sell seed. I wasn't super interested in even being a salesman. Being an agronomist, you just tell people what's wrong and you tell them how to fix it. I don't care who you use to solve the problem. You don't have to use my product. You can use somebody else's. I liked helping people solve their issue. You go find it and you solve it and you go on. Yeah. And a lot of times if you say, hey, we can be here today and we can fix it, well, then they'd use you.
Yeah, right.
But so, I mean, you
can make a lot of sales.
Yeah,
exactly
you could,
like that.
But
yeah.
it wasn't a sale so much as it was just a solution.
Correct.
So anyways,
Which is
that
what
was
good sales is.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. I had no interest in selling seed. I had not really no interest in, selling herbicide or fertilizer. It's just a cutthroat. It's just a cutthroat world. And there are guys that are awesome, that are fantastic, that have been doing it for a long time. There's a couple around here that I can think of that are really good. And then there's people that start up a new thing every 2 years, and their biggest thing is being cheap. And you just can't. I didn't want to compete with it.
It's pretty much true in a lot of like businesses that you're top.
Yeah, it's not.
It's true in my business. It's true in real estate. Like your 5% of your people are doing 95% of the sales.
5%, you think? Really?
I know that's in the real estate world. I know the top 5% of realtors sell, I think, 90% of the real estate.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Very similar in at least our company as well. Is
really?
Your top 10 to 15 are doing about 80 to 85% of the sales. So that doesn't shock me. You got your dogs that do it forever, and then your people who don't have the patience to become a dog,
Yeah.
So like, I'm going to undercut everybody. And then,
Well, it's hard too. I dogged on, like, my generation is a lot less loyal than the guys that are well established. But I started, once I left MFA, kind of started looking at it from another view. As a young person trying to get into farming now, ground is more expensive everything is more expensive than it's ever been.
Yep.
And when you're trying to start, you don't have the capital behind you that these guys have been doing it for 30 years. They've got the capital to be able to swing it.
Yeah,
so I guess
I
kind of stopped blaming if the product is still good and you can get it cheaper. I kind of had to stop. I kind of changed my viewpoint of, like, not necessarily loyalty, but just trying to get a start.
Yeah.
And once you're established, then you can probably afford a little more loyalty. But I don't know. That's kind of
I
side
definitely
point.
think
But yeah,
the world has
it's
changed.
tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to get into farming right now.
Oh yeah. It's got to be either, you hope that your legacy farms can stay legacy farms and don't, sell out to become a subdivision.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I was talking to my mom, tell me why you think beef prices are so high right now.
They're headed down.
Are they headed down?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
But we've been in a high beef run all year.
Yeah. I don't know the reason. I have no idea. I
got one easy one.
What?
It's not easy to do.
Yeah.
Cattle farming's not easy.
Corn. It was a good time to be a cattle farmer, and it may start to go down, but you had really low corn prices and you had really high beef prices. It's a good time to be a cattle farmer.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think we've seen the same shift in the contractor world, right? For every 5 that retire, 2 replace them.
Really?
So it's just hard work.
Yeah.
And your dogs that are good are going to get paid more. Cattle farming's not easy.
No.
What McBee did was insane for all those years.
Yeah.
And that operation's done now, right? Completely?
Yeah. Yeah. What McBee did was so far ahead of his time because he did rotational grazing. That was his whole thing. And their dad had told me, there was several people tried to make that ground pencil before him and they couldn't. That's a tough piece of dirt he was raising cattle on.
Yep.
So yeah, he made a swing, and he had several acres by the time he was done. I'm not making it, I'm not making light of it, but he was raising a lot of cattle, a lot of sad cattle.
Absolutely.
But
that's some of the sad reality. I remember in college, we were watching a classic like a classic Netflix documentary. I think it was called Food Inc. You ever watch something like that? Where they're just like, it was like a Cook Monsanto session.
Of course.
And getting after the industry and how what type and quality of beef ends up on the table, and only showing like the awful feedlots.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember explaining to him, I just said to him, all right, so we have 100 head of cattle here in town. Where's the closest place we take them for a feedlot? And if we wanted to go be like a super, because all of our cattle are mostly grass fed, very, very, they're all brown V, and they're very, very lean. Like, I don't have to drain no juice out of that ground beef when I make it.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to go take that to like a grass fed place, I'm probably having to drive to St. Louis to go do that from a feedlot perspective. The process just isn't as simple.
I don't think maybe there's grass fed feedlots, but there's not going to be very many of them.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's too much ground.
If the consumers want the product of we want 95% lean, grass fed, all of them, you're importing from other countries. Because I just don't think it's as simple as we'll just grass feed the beef and then sell them to people. And like, you don't know how that works.
Yeah,
the process from farm to table is a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I'm not sure about.
But correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not sure about the grass fed demand. I'm sure there's more of it. I guess the thing that a lot of people don't realize is when it comes to pigs or cattle or any animal that you're raising, they've got them. Especially, so there's a feedlot out in Nebraska, out by where I always prairie dog hunted, and they had 80,000 cattle on that feedlot, but it was a mile by a mile and a half.
That's big.
And
80,000 is a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot of cattle. They were feeding. A pivot, so a water pivot, and they said that was normally about 150 acres. They would feed a pivot, and it would make anywhere from, I can't remember what they said, 150 to 180 bushel, which I thought was low for being under pivot out there. But they would feed one of those a day. So 180 bushel times 150 acres. They were, an astronomical amount of corn. Astronomical.
That makes sense why Iowa and Nebraska are all corn.
What you have to think about with animals is if they are unhappy, they're not going to gain weight. And so out there in those feedlots,
it's like the opposite of humans.
Yeah, or the feeding floors that they have pigs in. And I'm not saying that all those conditions are perfect, but no. I've been inside the PSF barns before, or it's not PSF anymore, Smithfield. And I've seen a lot of the feedlots out west, way more than just one. And man, the number of cattle that they're putting through, if those cows or a lot of them are steers, if they weren't pretty darn happy, they're not going to be gaining the weight that they gain. They're just not. That's not how animals do it. If they're too crowded or if they're sick or whatever. Yep. And they had, so that huge feedlot, I don't know how many pens it was. Like I said, we drove it and it was a mile by a mile and a half. I think they had 4 sick pens at the front and there wasn't very many cattle in them. Mostly Holsteins. Wow. You'd be amazed how many Holsteins end up burger. But yeah, anyways.
Dude, what was prairie dog hunting like? That sounds fun.
It was. This probably fed into my love of shooting. So Dad had been buying cattle from a guy out there in southwest Nebraska. He'd been buying bulls from him, and I think some heifers. So we went out there when I was 8, and he said, "Bring a rifle. I've got a couple prairie dog towns, and the cows will step in those holes and break their legs, and the prairie dogs just eat the heck out of grass. They'll just clear a valley."
So not good for cows.
So he said, "Bring a rifle." The first time that Dad and I went out there, it was just him and I, and he had a really accurate .223 with like no recoil, and I was pretty little, but we laid that gun down, and it would hold 6 shells. And Dad just let me shoot. He just let me keep shooting. And I would just shoot the one that would stand up. I'd shoot the watchdog, and the next one would stand up, and I'd shoot it. And I don't know how many I shot, but I learned, man.
That sounds so fun.
It was. But in terms of like shooting technique, I got a ridiculous jump on pretty solid rifle fundamentals because I shot so many rounds when I was little. When we were, so I did a lot of prairie dog hunting. And then, man, when I was, I don't remember how old I was when I could go out by myself with a .22, maybe 10 or 11.
Sure.
If we had a snow day, I'd go shoot a brick of shells, a brick. It was a graveyard.
Yeah.
If the birds were in the snow, I just go out by the hay bales where the cattle had been pooping. It was good, man. Oh yeah.
Eat them at least?
No,
we were just
they were sparrows and blackbirds. A lot of shooting, a ridiculous amount of shooting. Dude, but I loved it, man.
I was raised such a softie. One time, I accidentally aimed my BB gun at a bird and shot it, and did not think I would hit it, and just weeped. I was like, I didn't think I could do that.
Yeah.
And we were in like Columbia City limits at the time, so it was somebody else's backyard. Probably had a name for that dove. I think it was a dove, but I just felt awful.
Yeah. But I tell you, it's different too, and I've like watching my little brothers and watching other young kids. There are different very different personalities when it comes to hunting.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta figure out how to say this without. I don't want it to sound arrogant at all, or not arrogant, but even like bloodthirsty. Like some kids, are just killers. Not
Yeah.
like not in a bad way, but just like
Right.
Like I have no issue making it happen.
Yep.
No issue making it happen. And some kids are like I remember Samuel was maybe 10 or 11 and Midway had a big pheasant hunt. And so then we went out there and he saw a pheasant and he like looked back to like see if he could shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
And Dad looked at me and was like, "You'd have never asked in a million years." He's like, "You just shot that thing." He's like, "You'd have never turned around and asked."
And then there's that category of people like me who like, I haven't shot very much, but like I love hunting.
Yeah.
And I have a like deep respect for the fact that like the stuff that we eat, I think hunting is very sacred. So much so that like pretty much any animal I've killed, I have like in a very respectful way, not been like, you know?
Yeah. And I'm on board with that.
I get really nervous. Like so much so I've kind of given up regular bow hunting. Because
Just get so worked up.
Anytime I've drawn back on something, including it, and I felt the worst. And everybody tells me I shouldn't feel bad, but I was like, oh, I don't feel bad. Pulled on this coyote, it just released, got its leg.
Oh, yeah.
Tried to chase it down, didn't it?
No.
A year later, I see it on camera with
Really?
3 legs.
Yeah,
but
man, they're tough.
Awful, you know.
They're so tough.
But then like there's a line because I remember. I think like before you got into trapping, because I would have been a great supplier for you for the hides. There was a year in my grandma's garden that I had no problem. I probably live trapped like 35 raccoons, 20 possums, a couple skunks. That was a bad move. You know, and I didn't feel a little bit bad about that.
Yeah.
But that's because they would eat my chickens.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
But it's still like just, you know, if we were to go, I mean, I was out shooting at your guys' house, sighting in a rifle earlier this year, and it's just nerve wracking for me. But I think it's a healthy fear. Like, mentally, I understand this is important. This is to me like it's good for me to know how food gets on the table.
Yeah,
but a healthy fear. But yeah, there's definitely a difference between just people designed to just go. And that doesn't mean any of us are better than the other people. Like
no, it takes all types, and you need like especially. I think the ones that are a little more cautious about it are way more thoughtful is not the right word. And appreciation is not the right word either. I don't know where I don't know. I can't
like,
word what I'm trying to say.
Do you remember playing Call of Duty as a kid? Did you ever do that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so like Spencer and Lane loved doing that.
Yeah.
I could never be like the run around shoot with like a full magazine guy.
Yeah.
I like needed to go hide in the corner and snipe.
Yeah.
Like that was what I did.
Yeah.
Like I am a slow, patient.
Yeah.
I don't know if like it doesn't mean that you're any less thoughtful from that perspective.
Thoughtful. I think that's what, but being just naturally a little slower about it, you're a little more thoughtful and maybe a little more,
which is a blessing and a curse sometimes because it's a curse when you just overthink that.
Yeah.
Like I remember at one time it would have been my first deer, I think. So I don't know if you know, I primarily hunt on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I see all my deer from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to be in college kind of known as the kind of person who could just about sneak up on anything. And there was a small window in my life where I was going to live, like I was going to build a cabin on my grandma's farm.
Yeah.
Live off the land. I was getting into like spear and knife throwing because that's how close I would get to these deer.
That's fun.
That was me for a little bit. But anyway, probably would have been my first deer. I'm laying it. I call this thing in with like a cheap Walmart grunt.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But you know, when they're in heat or rut, they're just like, oh, here
they
we
don't
go.
care right now.
But it walks all the, it's kind of zagging back before it's trying to find me. I'm laying under a cedar tree. It's comes walking up. This thing's beautiful now that I think about it. But Wes, if you're watching this, the Wes freebie creeped in my mind of like, need to let that one live another year, you know? He's like, that's not very big. You got to let them grow.
Man.
I think I was like in college. And so I let it go. And like, I thought it was going to come fight me. It was probably from me to that couch. And I'm laying on the ground and it's starting to stomp.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I am just like.
It smelled you.
I was just like this. And so then I just smacked the ground a couple times, popped my head up, and then he just went running off.
Yeah.
30 seconds later,
Nice.
Yeah, so that was a shooter, you
Yeah.
idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a blessing and a curse because I think like with the coyote, I overthought it and didn't make a good shot. But I've just decided to go. If I'm going to go, I'm going to go with a crossbow just so that I can know I can make a healthy kill if I'm going to take a shot.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think so. I think some people in the hunting business would be like, well, you're a little girl about it. And I'm like, I don't care. I'd rather make a healthy kill than look cool.
Yeah. I think especially if you know you're not going to practice much with a bow, you just don't have any business shooting it.
Yeah.
And if you so like what you're talking about, where when you draw back and you just lose it,
I just can't see anything.
That target panic, that's a real thing for a lot of people.
Feel my heart.
And it takes years and years to overcome that. And how many animals are you going to wound? So like there's some people that are all right with that.
Yep.
And they're like, I'm going to get through it and I may wound 4 or 5 more.
Yeah.
You know, but I think the recovery rate for crossbows and compounds is actually real similar. But
I mean, it's probably all about skill set at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, because you can still, a lot of people then shoot a crossbow like it's a rifle and it's not, it's still an arrow.
No.
But
that's what I like is I'm somebody who I know I've always been able to get close to deer.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can get leveled with a crossbow, I think I'll be pretty successful. Then the other question is, will I make the time to go do it? Because, dude, like being a parent and an adult is like, oh, I gotta find time for this stuff. So
that's why I don't golf. That's why I don't play video games.
I'm a golfer now. I'm really enjoying golf. Hunting's probably cheaper though, for sure.
Yeah,
it is.
If you're gonna be hardcore about anything, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Like you
spend a lot of money
go out
in
to
gas,
the woods
brother.
for free today.
Yeah, you can.
I can't go golf for free today.
You can. I spend
rounds of
quite
ammunition,
quite a bit of money on turkey hunting.
Yeah,
we'll have at some point we can discuss turkey hunting.
So I turkey hunted once
love.
in college with my buddy Joe Ryan. And I've got hearing loss. It's called cookie bite hearing. And that turkey gobble. And I think it's maybe because we weren't as close as my buddy made it out to be. But I was doing the calling, couldn't hear the gobble.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, you don't hear that? It's right there. But I think he was also messing with me.
Could have been.
But I feel like if I heard a turkey gobble within 50 yards, I would hear it. Right?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, it's going to shake the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like we're in the woods. So I think I would like it because I like getting close to animals. But
turkeys, I like hunting anymore. Turkeys, coyotes. I like the things I can call.
Yeah.
I like deer. It doesn't. I'll go deer hunt a couple times to go shoot a pile of does for me.
Dude.
That's it.
Every deer I've seen, I have called in.
Yeah, I mean, I rattled in $3 the other day, but it just doesn't I don't know.
I watched the whole hour-long DVD that came with my extinguisher deer call.
Yeah.
And learned how to make it sound like we were just having a
brawl.
A deer like orgy.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
Yeah. There you
go. That was the first time I called in like my first real deer, the only deer I've shot, actually. And again, it was in the middle of the rut, but it was one of those things. It's my first and only deer. Is that me going off?
It's me.
Oh, I'm supposed to be on silent.
Nicole Golub. I know who that's Louise. I bet you. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
I've got a voicemail.
Send me costume pictures of my kids. Anyway,
so
the worst hunt of my life, though, is how I shot this deer.
Really?
Like I went out 4:00. It's like 60 degrees out.
Yeah.
I took a bucket and antlers, dropped the antlers in the bucket, making a ton of noise. The blind wouldn't set up, so I just went and sat in a creek, and I just hit deer calls for like I was trying to call in, like my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard for the deer, just slinging just sounds. And like 20 minutes later, what I think is a squirrel comes just cruising in from over here, stops broadside on the fence line 10 yards away. And I went 1, 2, 3, 4, pulled that up. Luckily, my scope, because I messed up a hunt last year, I was sitting on the pond dam and beautiful buck. I knew it's
me.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
I somehow
did. If you need to take it too.
Yeah, if you need to take it, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, take it. This podcast is brought to you by, you guessed it, me, Landon Ball, State Farm agent. Do you feel like insurance doesn't make any sense? You are not alone. My team and I are trying to figure that out like every day. If you want to understand your insurance policy better, specifically if you have like a life or car or home insurance policy that some brother-in-law or uncle twice removed sold you years ago, reach out to my team here in Fayette at 660-248-2424 or go to our website at FayetteInsuranceTeam.com. Please don't call me with anything non-insurance related. Don't call our office if it's not about insurance. Please don't call or contact our office if it's about ice cream shop. Anything that's not insurance related. Thanks. Anyway, messed up a hunt. I somehow snuck into my spot. I blended into a pond dam. It was awesome. Somehow messed up this hunt. And I somehow snuck into that, probably walking like 15 yards where this buck was bedded, and did not bounce it. So I'm set up looking one way, thinking nothing's going to walk in from where I just walked in.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough.
Here he came.
Walks.
Oh, yeah.
We have a stare off. I pull up my rifle, and I am at 9 on my scope. So I can see a leaf, and that's it. And so I didn't get a chance to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had missed my 5-second window to get after him.
You learned a valuable lesson that day.
I sure did.
We've all done it.
I was looking 200 yards to the left, and then this boy comes cruising along the fence line 15 yards away. But anyway, but take me back to like when you were going into college. You chose Trenton because you wanted to get into being an agronomist. Was that always the plan? And what was the dream job in your mind then? And then how did that shape over those years?
So
I'm guessing you didn't want to be a taxidermist at 18.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I did not. If I could go back, I don't know that I would change anything.
Sure.
I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would take. Maybe things would be a little easier if I'd have decided taxidermy right off the get.
Sure.
Just because I was single and didn't have hardly any expenses. But
but like, where was your brain at when you were going to college? Where did you want to be?
So I wanted to be. Once you get high enough up in a lot of these companies, they'll have like a district or regional agronomist. And then you're covering a pretty good chunk of area.
Yep.
You're mostly looking at claims. You're looking at, we sprayed something and what in the world happened because we've smoked their beans, or we got onto the neighbor, we hit somebody's peach tree or whatever, or fertilizer mess ups or insect infestation.
Yep.
The list is countless.
Yeah. And that's kind of where your brain was.
Yeah. Consulting is like the base layer of that. So I started off that was my hope.
Okay.
So like I said, got a job at MFA. I was living in Macon and I was covering, there's 36 and 63, east, west, north, south. That entire northeast chunk of the state, my first year I was covering. I was driving a ridiculous amount. The second year, I picked up some ground to the south over by Paris, and my driving wasn't near as bad. Got some more acres. It was pretty good. Trying to think. My third year, I had the most acres of anybody in the company. I won the plaque for having the most.
Nice. Did you get anything else besides the plaque?
Yeah, you get a bonus for it.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything else?
No.
Like a trip or anything?
No. We were lowly. We don't get trips. So then the fourth year that I was at MFA, I lost. We got through the growing season and crop prices had hit the floor, and I lost. I mean, it wasn't my fault. Those guys I worked with for several years, they were just like, man, because it's the first thing to get cut is going to be crop consulting a lot of the time, which doesn't. I could tell you why it doesn't make sense, but that's just what they're going to do.
Sure.
That's just what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to keep racing their car on the weekends, but the thing that is going to help protect their crops, they're going to. But anyways, it's just reality.
Oh yeah,
it's just how it is. I got a call from my boss. I don't remember when it was. It was probably July, and he was like, "Hey, so MFA does some soil sampling, but for the most part, we hire it out so that it's done quickly, because the quicker soil samples are done, once the crop's out, the quicker they can start putting on fertilizer." And it is a race against the clock getting fertilizer on, because you want to get on as much as you can in the winter, so in the springtime you can do other stuff. And if you can get it on before somebody else, you got that business. It's a race for business. It's a race against the weather. Anyways, I get a call from my boss, and he's like, "Hey," and I had done a little bit of soil sampling, but that wasn't my job. I locked down acres in the fall. I worked hard in the spring and summer, and then, like I said, winter was kind of taxidermy. Anyways, he says, "Hey, MFA has decided all of our crop consultants are going to do all the sampling." It was like, I don't remember, 250,000 samples needed to be taken. And I was like, "What's this going to look like?" He's like, "Well, your fall, and if the weather's good in the winter," he's like, "you're going to be soil sampling." And I was like, "Well, okay." was like, is this going to come with a pay raise? He's like, no, they're not compensating you any differently. I'm like, okay. So kind of had the.
Like, what did it add? Because you're already driving all over.
By this point, my 4th year, Julie and I had bought our house in Southeast Howard County, and I was driving a little ways to get up to where I was going, but my acres were pretty tight.
Sure.
I had got my list to bigger people for the most part, and I was pretty efficient.
Yeah.
Pretty efficient with it. And they'd got me an intern at that point. I was doing pretty well. Yeah. Knew my guys, and no, it was pretty good. But lost the way that they structured our bonuses. I lost a bunch of guys, which, like I said, there wasn't really much I could do about it. Then they said, hey, you guys are going to soil sample all fall and a good chunk of the winter.
Gotcha. So, like, it didn't necessarily add, like, did that add complexity to your routes, or was it like,
no, it's not complexity to my routes. It was I wasn't getting a raise. I wasn't getting a bonus that year, and I wasn't going to be able to do taxidermy. So,
yeah, lose.
Yeah, it was
it's a great compromise.
It was pretty rough. So, Julie and I had credit. My wife is an incredible lady. Yeah. There's not very many.
Yeah, you should talk about her.
Yeah, I should. She deserves it. So, and she had believed in me doing taxidermy. I mean, like, we'd only been dating a couple months, and she's like, "Yeah, I think that's a good idea."
You met her and taxidermy in the same year, right? That's what you said, 21.
Yeah.
And where did you meet her? At school?
No, I actually met her on Tinder. I did. So I was driving all over the state because I lived in Macon. Dude, there's no girls in Macon. I mean, there's not. I was in the middle of nowhere. And so, like, as I'm driving around all over the state of Missouri, I just had my Tinder open so I could, like, I was casting a net, buddy.
You just swipe.
No, I wasn't doing that. But as I'm driving,
I believe it.
As I'm driving around,
this man is Tindering and driving. I love it.
As you're moving around, like, you're casting a pretty good net. So, anyways, met her on Tinder. I actually started. This is a story. Well, it's not really a story for another time. About the time Uncle Terry died is when I had met Julie, which was absolutely not an accident. The Lord knew I needed her for sure.
Were you close with Terry?
Decently. After he moved down to Texas, obviously I didn't see him as much. Uncle Terry's the one that started me turkey hunting.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. And that probably the reason that I love it so much. I was little. I don't know. I was maybe 10. I think I'd maybe killed my first turkey by then, but like I just went and shot one. We were sitting in a blind. It was raining. He came in. I shot him. It wasn't like turkey hunting how I do it now.
It's a lot harder now.
We were walking down this logging road. It was the middle of the morning. He's like, let's just sit down right here. And we sit down and I'm facing one way and he's facing the other. And he like makes a noise and is pointing and I look, I don't see anything. And I was sitting still, thankfully, but the way I was facing, I turned my head to the left, and there's 7 turkeys, like 10 yards away, gobblers. I mean, and it looked like a Bass Pro display. Some of them were strutting, some of them were half strut, some of them had their heads up looking, and they went past me, and like my gun's across my lap. There's nothing. Knowing what I know now, I could have easily just pulled up and shot one. But finally, they got so close to Uncle Terry, he basically just shot one out of self-defense. And I mean, they were about to walk over him, and he felt bad because I didn't get one. Oh man, like I'll never until I die, I'll never forget that. It was the coolest thing I've ever. And so after that, I was like, this turkey hunting thing is pretty dang cool, pretty dang cool. And I didn't know much about it, and I mean, I made once I could drive, then I started. I didn't turkey hunt a lot until I could drive again. And then I was pretty much turkey hunting by myself because he'd already moved down to Texas. And I was just learning by trial and error, which I super enjoyed. But man, their eyesight is 3 times better than a human's. And I had birds that I could have shot that I thought, I'll let them walk. They had a bush, but I could see his head. And I'd be like, I'll let him come out from behind that bush and you'll never see him again. Because they saw you. He got to where he could see, and they are an incredible species. Do you know what drumming is?
I've heard of it, but remind me.
So there's gobbling, and a gobbler a lot of times, if he's further away, he's going to gobble.
Yeah.
If he's closer, especially like if he's got his harem of hens and he's just talking to him, he'll go dum, dum, like that. He'll spit and drum.
Wow.
And he's drumming like a gobble. He's letting his hens. I'm not doing it very good right now, but it's deep like dum.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And
what's he doing?
He's telling his hens where he is. Huh. He's like, hey, ladies, I'm right here. But he doesn't want, especially if there's a lot of competition in the area, he don't want to gobble.
Yeah.
He's going to drum.
Yeah. He's like
he'll sit there
whispering
he'll sit there and strut and drum and tell all his ladies, hey, I'm right here. But anyways, a lot of times when you're calling in a turkey, especially in the timber, he's probably not going to gobble at you, especially, so you were talking about 50 yards. Mm-hmm. He's probably not going to gobble. He's probably going to drum. And the first time that I ever... The most vivid drumming that I ever heard, Caleb and I, was opening morning of turkey season several years ago. There's snow on the ground. And we had this, it was
so everything's kind of quiet.
Yeah, but you could hear pretty good because of the snow.
Right.
We had this turkey. He was a ways off, and I didn't call to him very much because I didn't think we had a prayer. It was 30 or 45 minutes after daylight, and we knew the birds had flown down because they'd stopped talking. So I walked to the top of this ridge, and I hit the call, and he cut me off. And he was within 150 probably. I told Caleb, because he was way far away before.
He cut you off. What do you mean? Wow.
Yeah, he cut me off.
Dude, that's wild.
And I was like, okay. So we went and sat back down. Caleb had not killed a turkey at this point.
Sure.
So I'm like, there's a trail coming out of this timber perfectly in front of Caleb. I'm like, that gobbler's going to walk right down that trail. Caleb's going to smack this feller. And I've done this enough to know that turkeys are just... They can, when you call, even, so my Florida bird flew the river and landed within 8 yards away from me. This bird flew they can pinpoint, when you call, they know the tree you're sitting against.
People can hear and see.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Because out of the roost, that bird from Florida flew out of the roost and flew that river and landed within 8. He landed from me to the corner almost. I was standing behind this.
So the smell though?
No, thank God they can't.
Okay. Yeah, they can't have all three
dude,
of them.
If they could smell, you couldn't kill one.
Yeah, they'd just be humans. Okay.
Yeah. No, better.
Better. Word. Anyway.
This gobbler's coming and all of a sudden I hear dum, dum. I'm like, holy crap.
Does that like freak you out a little bit?
Oh, it fires me up so much. And then I could hear him. Wow. Dum. And then pretty soon I could see him. And of course, this bird, instead of walking up the trail, he walked straight towards where he heard the sound. I shot him at like 12 yards. It's like a 27 pound.
So Caleb didn't get to shoot
him. No. It's like a 27 pound bird. He was huge.
Oh, man.
He was the boss. Awesome. But drumming, gobbling, they're so fun to hunt. A couple years ago, I stopped using decoys. I don't hunt out of I'm in no way superior to anybody that, you kill them how you want to kill them.
Sure. Yeah.
But when I stopped using decoys, and I started learning a lot more about the bird than the product. Because like when you watch the vast majority of like the TV people now, when it comes to turkeys, it's like, we've got this 360 blind that you can see 360, but they can't see you. And we've got this ultra realistic decoy and we've got whatever. Well, the turkey's main line of defense is his sight. Well, you have fooled him with a piece of plastic and you're sitting in this thing where he can't even see you. In my mind, where's the real skill in that?
Absolutely.
Because if I'm sitting next to it, especially not using decoys and calling in birds, and whether it's open fields or in the timber, you're sitting against that tree and you don't have a decoy, that bird's looking for you. And a lot of times, the second he crests that ridge, you got to shoot him, because if they don't see the hen, they're leaving. They're not dumb at all. And they see you sitting against that tree so fast. Anyways, it's hard to explain why it bit me like it did, but it did.
Well, I mean, what you're describing is, I think, a lot of the times the difference between hobby and sport. And my guess is you're not going to be the person who would say, the people who don't hunt it like I do don't belong in there. But like, I think where my brain went is like, in golf, they make beginner's irons and then they make blades, and beginner's irons are great. All these different tactics that you use. But what you've done is you've progressed so far in the sport now that you're not just you're challenging yourself. And I guess I've noticed, I'm not an amazing deer hunter because I haven't spent enough time with it. But yeah, when you get seriously tactical with not just like your setup, the best gun, the best this, but like, where's the wind? How do I smell? What time? Where am I sitting? How little am I moving? Thinking of deer. But yeah, I mean, you're just describing the difference between people doing it as a hobby and a sport. And I think that's a natural progression. When you start loving something, you want to go like, how do I do this in like the truest way? Which, I mean, that's kind of what you're describing. It's like the truest way. So you don't use decoys or calls now?
I use calls. I call them in. I mean, that's what I do.
You got them in the mouth or do you the box?
Mouth call.
Mouth, okay.
I mean, I'll do slate calls. I got a wing bone call.
What's that?
Now, it's a turkey wing bone. And it's a, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like, and it makes a turkey sound. It's just different.
Yep.
It's a different sound, especially if you're hunting like pressured birds on public. It's just a different sound.
Yeah. Do you think you could call a turkey without any like calls?
I have with my mouth.
Oh,
yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I have in Kansas. Yep. Which they're not quite as smart, but a lot of those birds out there, if you just don't stop calling, they'll come in eventually. Just keep laying into them.
Checks out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Did I finish? Yeah, I met Julee.
Yeah, let's go back to
Julee. Let's go back to Julee. Met her on Tinder. Met her on Tinder.
Driving 65 miles an hour down 36.
I wasn't roaming. I was not, for the record. I wasn't roaming Tinder while I was driving. I just had it like I had the app, whatever. Like as you're driving, I guess. I don't know, it picks up people. I don't know how it works.
Was the intention a relationship with Tinder, or was it?
Yeah, because I
might have been the only one.
Listen. So I was playing a numbers game. I was legit. No, I've told Julee knows this. So like
she was on it, so she can't criticize.
Yeah, no, I mean I was playing a numbers game where it was like I'm gonna just have to keep meeting gals until I find the right one. So like I'm not gonna be. I talked to a gal for a couple of days, and if she did something to make me mad, I just get rid of her.
Yeah, I'm
not gonna like. There was this gal, she was a hunting chick, whatever, and I didn't answer her for like an hour or two, and she just went off on me. And I'm like, oh, adios. Yeah, like I'm not doing that. I don't even know you.
No,
bye.
I don't even know you. Yeah, and Tinder's way cheaper than like a 4-year degree. So, because most people go to college for that too. So.
Yeah, exactly. So met Julee on Tinder. We both have 3-legged dogs. So that was like just kind of I don't know, a natural point. But her dad hunted a ton, her brother hunted a ton, and I told her, and like I'd ended relationships over turkey hunting because I'm not gonna stop chasing birds in the spring. I go all over the United States. I'm just not gonna stop.
Yeah.
You're either gonna accept it or we ain't gonna work. It's just reality. And I told her that, and she was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And so we started dating. We started dating in February. And then turkey season started a month and a half. And Dad was like, "Oh, we'll see how she does." I was like, "Yeah, we will."
Joey.
And
see how she does.
We'll see how she does. And yeah, I mean, she still supports me, and we've got a kid now. So
yeah.
But
she ever go with you? Like, is she
no, I'd like for her to, but man, the way that
it's different, man. I mean, she doesn't need
no, she could sit still and do all that. That's not a problem. But like,
but she's not going like, why don't you take me hunting?
No,
right?
Not at all. No, not at all. It's just, if I had a spot, I don't know. I'd like for her to go with me sometime. Sitting still would not be a problem. She can do that.
Yeah. No, I'm not
There's
saying
no doubt
that.
in my mind.
I think when I'm in the zone on certain things, maybe this is what you're saying, I'm not like the funnest person to be around.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Like we're not there to party.
We'll get back to Julee again, but like my little brothers, I'm so proud of how they have progressed as hunters because, and they have probably been restricted. So I stopped using decoys and they were pretty little.
Yeah.
And it cost us, especially the first couple of years, it cost me a lot of birds because I didn't know how to play the game. I was just used to putting the decoy out there and the bird comes in and I didn't know how to, especially field turkeys. I didn't know how to approach them.
Field turkeys versus
in the timber. Okay. So a field turkey can see. He can, if there's nothing out there, he's like, well, why am I going to come to that call? I'm not going to.
Got it.
When you're calling birds with no decoys, a lot of times you need to be calling from a spot where they have to come look. They need to come look for you.
Bird. That's just where they are. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, not just
like I didn't know if that was like a city bird, a suburban bird.
But they have grown up not hunting in blinds. I mean, when they were little, they did.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, they haven't hunted with decoys or blinds. And man, I have. Those boys sit still. They're grown men that cannot. I'm serious. I mean, we'll sit there, get pinned down by a gobbler that's behind you, and sit there for 2 hours, and your butt is just, I mean, screaming. And I'm like,
that's where they could sell me some product. It's like,
it doesn't matter how thick your cushion is. It doesn't matter. Man, I've got my cushion is this thick. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your butt's going to sleep. But I mean, we've been in some fun situations where birds come in not where they're supposed to, and they just sit there and let them work. And the boys called in their own bird. I was not there this year. They're 14. No decoys and a field turkey called in their own bird this year and got him killed. I think they hunted for that bird 6 days straight, getting up before school. Nobody waking them up, setting their own alarms. I mean, it's awesome. It's
fun stuff.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like they've got the fire for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
you don't teach a 14-year-old to get up 6 days in a row to go check. And like, there's days they'd get up and they'd go and that bird wouldn't even be on the farm.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't. I don't know. Yeah, super proud of those
I love
boys.
that they fell in love with it. You know, I think some of my favorite memories are doing stuff like that. And I just think it's awesome that they've had the opportunity to just like, I think that's probably what I miss the most about when we first moved to Fayette. We lived on this little farmhouse down in W.
Oh, yeah.
You remember being out there? Oh, yeah. There was just something about like, I can just wake up and go fish the next 3 hours. You know, now as an adult, I have to plan for it. I'm like, but yeah. So you Julie started dating. How long do you guys date?
We dated. We started dating in February. We got married in October.
Love it. What was your first date?
I don't know. Probably sometime in January.
Oh, like what'd you do?
Oh, with Texas Roadhouse.
Heck yeah.
Yep. Smokey. So thank God he's still alive. Otherwise, dude, I wouldn't be able to make it through this sentence. So Smokey's been there. He was there for our first date. Yeah, he was there the day we got married. And then obviously he's been there with our first kid. So, and he went with me to college. Smokey's my dog, everyone.
The three-legged?
Yep. He's my three-legged dog.
How old is he now?
He's 10. It'll be 10 November 15th.
Dude, I mean, Henry's 4, and I'm just thinking about the day he's going to die, like what I'm going to do.
So Smokey got, I guess from his testicles, like an enlarged prostate. And so like, it's probably been 5 or 6 months ago, he was pissing blood. Bad. Like just standing there, it looked like he'd been cut. It was not good. Yeah. They couldn't figure it out, took him in, and then the gal was like, yeah, he's probably got this type of cancer in his bladder that's inoperable. We'll have to put him down. So I like had a week of mourning.
Sure.
Essentially, like I was riding the lawnmower, just bawling my eyes out, dude. I was so, when I was single, it was just me and him. Yeah, I lived in Macon. I had nobody. Not that I had nobody, but it was me and my dog.
Macon's a bad place.
It was me and my dog. He wrote, like when I was in Trenton, I lived out in this little farmhouse by myself. I don't know how many miles that dog's ridden in a semi, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
I don't know why we do that to ourselves, because we know they're not going to live forever.
Oh man, but it's worth it. It is
worth it, but man,
you can't be not selfish, but there'll never be, and they say that, you have one good dog in your lifetime, but it's mostly because you only have a certain period of your life that you can devote to a dog like that. Right. And so like that time frame, like, and then I moved to Northwest and like I lived with guys, but he lived with me, and like other people, there'd be a bunch of people and somebody'd go to leave and they're like, oh, are you worried about, is your dog going to run out? I'm like, no, he ain't gonna follow you. And then I'd stand up and he just walk right behind me, out the door. Like he's my dog, and I'm his person.
Yep.
No, had Smokey on all those dates. Yeah, we went to Texas Roadhouse for our first date. It was actually when I showed up. So her dog and Smokey, Bam is her dog. They got in a fight. She opened the door, and Bam hadn't been around a lot of other dogs, and like just got after Smokey.
2 3-legged dogs just getting after.
Yeah.
Which legs are missing? Both fronts?
No, Bam's missing in one of his back legs. Smokey's missing his front right.
All right, so Bam's got a bit more firepower then.
Yeah, and he's a pit bull, which I love pit bulls, but there was no blood or anything. They just had a pretty decent squabble, and Smokey's just like
scary.
He's just like backing up, just like, dude, what's going on? And Julie was just petrified. she felt so bad. I'm like, it's no big deal. Like I've grown up around farm dogs, getting in a tussle or two. It's not a big thing. So we went on our date, and it took she made a recovery from that. But we got fast forward to October.
Where is there a Texas Roadhouse up there?
Blue Springs.
Oh, okay. Is
Yep.
Trenton West?
What?
Is Trenton West?
She lived in Blue Springs.
Oh,
she
so
lived.
you went over to her.
Yeah, I went
Okay,
over to
got
her.
it, got
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Once I found
I
the
was like,
right
I'm gonna
one.
be pissed if Trenton has Texas Roadhouse and I don't even have McDonald's here. All right.
Kirksville has a Colton's.
I love Kirksville.
Yep.
I like that place.
Once I found the right one, did a lot of miles down that highway, buddy.
It was easier to drive all those miles, wasn't it?
Yeah. I did a lot of miles down that highway.
My
truck,
woman's from Minnesota, and I was a pro with that drive.
My truck's got 310,000 miles on it. She owns
and
several.
It's a Chevy.
She owns.
That makes me want to buy a Chevy.
Yeah, 5.3, buddy.
Toyota's been pissing me off lately.
Yep, 5.3. I can't remember if it was September or October. I can't remember exactly when it was. Julee she was having a hip surgery. She was born with hip dysplasia, and they don't check for it or fix it back then like they do now.
Sure.
Now they check for it and like they can put you in a brace, no big deal. They didn't fix hers. So she had been working at Blue Springs Animal Hospital, and her hip was just, basically she had her femoral head was sitting, instead of in the socket, was just sitting on the edge. Just, you can
Did
imagine.
It hurt?
Oh, yeah. Insanely terrible pain. Like not really able to walk a lot of days. No. It's awful. So anyways, we kind of had a bit of a crossroads where was her mom going to take care of her? Was I going to take care of her? Was she going to move in? Were we going to get married? Were we going to buy a house? Like we had a whole bunch of stuff going on. And in a world that definitely glorifies living together,
sure.
and I'm not talking down to anybody. It's just not. We just decided that if we were going to live together, we were just going to get married. Like, and I was.
Which growing up, that was not a weird thought.
No,
now it is.
Now it is.
My wife and I were weird for not living together before marriage.
Yeah, but interestingly, the divorce statistic is higher if you live together.
Sure.
But we just decided that if we're gonna, and I like even before I'd even met her, just in talking to her, it was unlike anybody else I'd ever talked to. I already was like, this is an extremely special gal. But yeah, so September rolls around, we got engaged, and then October we got married. Let's see. She had her hip surgery. We got married on the 3rd of October, and she had her hip surgery on October 17th. We were up in Macon. That was a tough. So we got married, and then she had her hip.
What year was that, too? 21 or 2? That was 21, right?
21, I reckon.
Yep.
Probably.
Yep. Same year, right? That you met her? Yeah.
Yep, same year. She had her hip surgery, and that was a tough. She was adjusting to moving away, especially from moving away from her mom.
That's a ton of change in 1 year.
We got married. Macon, there's not a lot going on in Macon. No. And then Julee had her hip surgery.
They have a Sonic.
They do have a Sonic.
Sorry. Anyway.
No, you're a good Chinese restaurant. That's the best part of Macon is a Chinese restaurant. That was a tough time for us. Like we had to bear down and learn some things.
Tune out the noise.
Yeah, and really, but we went through like, I guess a lot of trials like right at the beginning that a lot of couples probably don't go through until they're in their 50s or 60s. Like the first time one of you has a major surgery or something, and it's like because what I had to learn was because she was in awful pain, and chronic pain will make you a level of grouchy that you don't even. Oh yeah. Like I have no blame like for not being.
Remember, I had a back surgery.
Yeah,
I spent about a year. Taking awful drugs.
Yeah.
Trying to deal with it. So yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it
makes you
tough.
a different person.
It's
not who you are.
Yeah. So I had to learn to love her and to serve her because I loved her, not because I expected a thank you, not because of anything, just because I was going
your honeymoon was over on October 17th.
Yeah, I was going to take care of her.
Yeah.
I was going to take care of her, and it was good for me to have to do that.
Good.
good for me to have to do that. So we get through her surgery. She did really good. She started mending, and then probably sometime in November, got a phone call from Bill Martin, who owns the ground around mom and dad's, and then he had bought another farm down the road. And he said, "Hey,
John Meyer, right?
Yeah, it was Raymond Lee John Meyer's old house, old place." And he called me and said, "Hey, I've got this house down the road, been renting it out. I'm not making near on the rent what I should, but I didn't want to screw the people over." He's like, "All of our other rental houses are in Ashland." He's like, "I want to sell it. Do you want to buy it?" I was like, "Well, what do you want for it?" And he's like, "I don't know. We'll just get it appraised. Whatever it appraises for, I'll sell it to you." I'm like, all right. So that was definitely, when I look back at like the Lord's timing on things,
Yeah.
I met Julee. I was talking to Julee. I think when I was down in Texas for Uncle Terry's funeral, like obviously I was not roaming Tinder then, but like I was conversating with her,
Yeah.
and definitely, I mean, I needed her then. That was rough. And Kyle had met Bree actually right before Uncle Terry had died as well. We both kind of found our person when we really needed them. But our decision to go ahead and get married. So we were married, and like a month later, we get an opportunity to buy a house 4 miles from my parents. And,
I mean, did that excite both of you?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. She didn't want to live in Macon.
Well, I mean, so I love getting out of Macon, but the thought of like living close to parents, that was never like a hesitation for either one of y'all.
Mm-mm.
Because some people are like, I don't want to live too close to my in-laws.
Man,
meanwhile, I gotta be careful here.
You're good.
I would love to be a member of the Busker family and live within 3 miles of the Busker family for lots of the benefits, but especially the food benefits.
Yeah.
There we go. That's how I want to say it.
There you go.
Right.
What I would say is, man, I am so incredibly blessed to be part of a family that, man, we get together, I don't know, 3 to 5 to 6 nights a week and just have a great time.
It's pretty unique.
And yeah, I mean, it just doesn't, I mean, you pretty much just don't really see it anymore. I mean, yeah, we eat over there a lot, but just Kyle and Bree are over there. My grandma's over there. Mom and dad, and then just the whole family. And we just have a great time. And like, there's no event.
Yeah.
Like there's no thing. We're just together.
Not even a plan.
No, man. You just go over there and have supper.
The house is open. Like it's something that 20 years ago was the norm, and now it's not. Now that's weird.
There's a lot of times Julie will go to Bible study, and I'll just go up to the house and wait for mom and dad to get home with Warner.
Yep.
And we eat supper there.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and that is one thing. So like the Amish and Mennonite community, they love their kids to stay, because a lot of them will end up going on like mission fields and stuff and be gone. There is nothing that they love more than their kids coming back home and being able to see their family like every day or pretty much every day. And like that sense of family, that is something I'm not at all like, I'm not Amish or Mennonite, but man, that sense of like,
you could get there.
Yeah, I don't think so. That sense of family bond is something that I understand, and it is extremely rare.
I think a lot of people don't realize they need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel bad for the people who like don't even have the opportunity to do it, but it's even more frustrating with people who have the opportunity to do it and they just don't realize how good it is, to be able to do stuff.
It takes
takes a lot of grace, I'm sure.
It takes, yeah. And mom and dad,
because y'all are a bunch of opinionated people too.
Opinionated?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, buddy. It takes the parents being, I guess, just loving their kids and not forcing whatever they think is right or wrong on their kids. Not that, I mean, I ask dad's opinion about almost everything and I rarely will deviate from it, but he ain't gonna force it down my throat. And, if Julie and I make a decision, they're just going to say congrats. They're not going to be like, well, you shouldn't have done that. Because I don't think you can have grown kids that come home and you can't try and run their life and expect them to want to come see you. That's just not going to happen. So kudos to mom and dad for that. But no, we got a chance to buy that house a month after we'd gotten married, and I would never have bought. I know there's people that do it, but I'd have just never bought a house and not have been married. Like I would not have bought a house with Julie and not have been married.
Would you have bought a house without her in your life at all? Like just by
Oh yeah,
yourself?
maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So
No,
tracking
I'm
with you.
saying like
Okay.
I would not have been in a relationship with her
Yeah.
and like Julie Campbell, Tyler Busker on the mortgage.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Generally not a great idea, folks.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of it on the other side of that. Don't do it.
No, don't do it. So we bought that house and then moved down. And it all, I mean, really kind of all started. So now we're caught up. We've got the house. We're living 4 miles down the road. Dad and I had fixed up his shed to where I had a taxidermy shop. And if you catch up then to current or go back to it had been last August, then my boss calls me and is like, hey, you're soil sampling now. And so Julie and I basically sat down and it was like, am I going to keep consulting? There's kind of three options. I quit MFA and I do taxidermy full time. I keep consulting and we try and make it through, because I wasn't going to get a bonus that year because I'd lost a bunch of people and wasn't going to be able to do taxidermy anymore. So I was looking at, like a 40% cut. Or do I try and chase? They had a position available is in the north part of the state, a regional agronomist. And Julie was actually, I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for her, I would have chased the promotion because I'd have made more money. Like to me, that was the right thing to do as the husband and dad. That was immediate. Like once we were in that position, I was like, I'll turkey hunt less. I'll do whatever less, work more, I'll make more money. And we talked about it and we prayed about it. And she was like, no, she's like, I think you need to, I think you can do it. And I think you need to give it a try and just see what happens. Go full time with it. And so obviously I am doing full time taxidermy now. I'm like, I helped Teese's harvest and I did an agronomy thing in the month of March, made really good money doing that. So I'm still growing the business to the point where I can just be slammed, 12 months out of the year doing taxidermy.
But you also own the business to where if you want to have the freedom to go drive a semi,
you
can.
Yeah. It has been, oh man, it's extremely stressful at times. I've learned a lot about probably how my brain is wired because I don't like to do things wrong the first time. I want it to be perfect the first time I do it. And with taxidermy and learning new things, that's just not reality. And so, like when I get
do
done,
you have like some hilarious first attempts at taxidermy?
No. Usually,
like you've seen some funny taxidermy.
Yeah, I know. No,
Okay,
honestly, no. The first stuff I've done hasn't looked terrible. Looking back now, I hate it, but it's not. There's worse stuff out there.
Sure.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't awful.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Where was
I derailed you. You're talking about how your mindset is you want to get it right the first time.
Yeah, and so it would throughout the year there would be things I needed to do, and I was just so I don't know what the right word would be. Just I guess scared. Like I just was scared of doing it wrong, and it would hold me back from doing it. So they're just little things, like nothing,
Like
like altering forms or.
What?
Altering forms. So the deer skin goes on. I'm trying to think of what else.
But you're more talking like
Different
technique stuff.
Technique stuff.
Okay.
Yep, technique stuff or different projects or different critters.
You said you're working on is it your antelope right now? Or what is it?
Yeah, last night
Is that
I
your
did.
first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and it was a nightmare. I spent 5 hours last night. So a guy shot an antelope, wanted it mounted. I sent the hide off to the tannery, get it back, and all the hide was ruined. So I had shot an antelope a couple years ago. I had my tanned hide in the freezer. I'm like, well, I'll just use mine. And then the antelope that I had shot was way bigger than his. So you deal with, on those critters, a a lot of extra skin around the horn bases. You know, his was like 5 1/4. Mine was like 6 1/4, 6 1/2. So you got an inch of extra skin to deal with, which isn't a huge deal. I know how to fix that. But then I'd never done one before, and the head on this form is huge. I had to narrow the head, which I'm not even going to, basically just take a V right out of the middle, like a very small wedge, about a 1/2 inch wedge out of the middle of the head to narrow that head. And then I finally, at 2 a.m. last night, I called it quits. I was angry. But I gotta shorten the nose a little bit, and I think I can get him together. But yeah, so that was my first one, not the original cape. The head was way too big on this thing, and it's not stupid. I shouldn't say stupid. It's a wall pedestal, which means the head has quite a bit of turn. And in general, those are a lot more difficult to mount because you've got all that extra hair on the neck, basically making a wrinkle.
Right.
So
with no muscle underneath it to work it out.
Yeah.
Like on a normal body.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's more challenging in general. But I'll get it.
How much time did you spend with your buddy you met in Florida learning? Like, did you like go to his shop and spend a month learning from him, or
like 2 days?
That's it.
Yeah, I have spent. I don't know how many hours I've spent looking at reference photos of deer. I have a whole folder in my phone of reference photos, and that is one thing that I've had no choice. I've had no choice but to get good at looking at something, and then making it look. I mean,
you're basically an artist now.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that in your?
No. I had no idea. See that either. I had no idea. No, man.
Could you color and draw as a kid? Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't strike me as somebody with elegant handwriting and coloring.
Taxidermy is not. Taxidermy is, can you fix it?
Sure.
Can you fix it? Because everything is broken. Everything is broken.
Metaphor for life.
Rips and tears and nothing fits and just countless things.
I mean, are you like sewing?
Oh, yeah.
You learned to sew somewhere?
Oh, yeah. I can sew like a machine, buddy.
Where'd you learn, though? Just doing it?
Yeah, I mean, it just takes hours and hours and miles of sewing. Yeah, dude, I can flat sew. Like, I'll have guys.
That's awesome.
I'll have guys cut a deer up the chest and then, I think I want to shoulder mount it. And I mean, I'm talking almost to the white patch, and I can sew it back up.
I took a Sawzall to that chest,
Yeah. Well, as long as this is a note to everybody, I guess. If you're going to make a bad cut on a deer, if you can do it under the hair to where you don't cut any hair and you make a clean cut, as long as I got the original hair there still, no problem. Like that is so easy to sew. But like a broadhead hole that goes in, it goes in at an angle and it shaves the hair and then it cuts off some hair and then it goes in and makes a big hole. The hole is not the problem. It's all the shaved hair around it that you end up having to make like a football shape. You cut out all the old hair, all the shaved hair.
Wow.
But, painting, a lot of airbrush painting, especially like ducks. Tons. I mean, you paint their bills, you paint their feet. There's a lot of painting on deer. You paint their eyes, you paint their nose. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of artistry. There's a lot of, I guess, creativity, but just like you just run into stuff and just find a way to solve things.
Yeah.
You just find a way to solve things.
Is there a bunch of CWD testing again this year, like there was last year?
Yeah, it'll be mandatory.
Do you have a port like you did last year?
A what?
Like a testing. Couldn't they bring it to you to get it?
Yeah, they can.
You doing that again?
I will. I am for the weekend. I guess I'll put this plug out there.
We are gonna plug you for the rest of the time and then be done. So
that works
please
for me.
Talk about yourself. This is good timing to do you on the podcast.
Yeah, that's fine.
Here.
The CWD thing, man, if you like your deer herd and you shoot a deer that doesn't seem sick, I'd probably think real hard about not getting it tested if it's not mandatory.
Is it mandatory in Howard this year?
The opening weekend it is. I've heard that it's mandatory check-in, voluntary testing, and I've heard that it's mandatory testing. So I'm telling you that it's mandatory testing because I don't want the conservation department coming after me.
But when it's not, a new agent in town.
Yeah, I know. But when it's not mandatory,
you said, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
do you know who he is?
No. Well, I mean, we just had one fresh out of the academy 2 years ago. Now we got another one, which is fine. Whatever. Follow the rules and they'll find something. But is what it is. There has not been a successful way shown to deter the spread of CWD amongst deer herds. The current current thought process among the conservation departments is we are going to shoot as many deer as we physically can shoot to lower the herd numbers, and that should slow the spread. But that has never been proven to work. So while we decimate our deer herd numbers across the United States, we don't even know if it's going to help. And in a lot of places, the CWD numbers are still rising regardless of how many deer they kill. So if they get a positive test on your land and you say, no, I don't want you to sample, because they can't come and shoot deer if you don't give them permission. But they can go to your neighbor and your other neighbor and your other neighbor and an old lady that has 500 acres that is going to say, yeah, that sounds awful. And they're going to try and kill 100 deer per square mile per square mile. So that's my
Have we tried a mask mandate on deer?
mask mandate. I love it. We should try that. It'll be real effective.
Sorry. I'm not sorry. I've heard a lot of
It just
talk about
doesn't.
this.
I originally, when I asked them about it, I was told 10 deer per square mile, and I was like, that's fine. Like, that's not. We a lot of places in Howard County will be 60 to 80 deer per square mile. That's fairly. I mean, there's places maybe more, and I'm sure there's places it's less, but you're going to find yourself somewhere in there. So I'm like, it's not a big deal. No, they want to knock it out.
What do you think like the actual prerogative is?
Well, they get federal money for it. Yep.
There it is.
It all comes down.
There it is.
It all comes down.
I mean, that's
to
what I
money.
was asking is, where's the trail?
Yeah. They get federal money for it.
Okay.
And
But
it
anyway,
does.
so somebody shoots a deer here, open weekend coming up on the 15th, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Man, like, so I've always wondered, like, if I shoot a deer, do I just drive it to you and
You
then
can. I
you know what to do?
So my preference.
Or do I go take it to the meat guy first?
No, please
Okay.
don't. Please
Okay,
don't.
all right.
Please don't.
Also, we need to have a segment called You Know What You Should Do. But one of my ideas I had for you a couple years ago, like, if you also did a meat shop, that would be fairly congruent, wouldn't it? Like, if you did a butchering
There's
operation.
there's a lot of places that do that. Somebody in the family does taxidermy, and then they've got a meat locker.
Yep.
It's an efficient way to do things for sure.
Yeah.
No, I
Maybe
would
that can be Joey's retirement plan.
Oh yeah.
You can do the whole backside of your building.
I love running a knife.
Yeah.
I really do. I love probably my favorite part of taxidermy is still skinning. I love running a knife. I really do. I always have enjoyed it. I've been good at it. It's just, but anyways, yeah, I'd be more than happy to cape your deer. My little brothers help a lot with that now, and they help with the European mount. So I got a little fee for caping. The amount of holes that I have to sew, the deer that are skinned incorrectly where the hide is not usable. Those are all things, especially like my time. So the faster I can put deer together without having to sew holes, without having to try and, can I make this cape work? Am I going to have to size down just so I can get the brisket to barely cover the bottom? I can keep my price lower if I don't have to spend so long per deer. So you're better off paying a small fee and having me do it than if you don't know and you're like, oh, I'm going to save $25. Just let me do it.
Skin the deer myself, basically. Like,
yeah, you're like, oh, I can do it. I can do it myself.
No, I mean, so let's say November 15th, I shoot a deer.
Yep.
Let's also say it's 50 degrees outside.
Could be.
Let's just say it is.
Yeah.
Straight to you.
Yeah.
Then to
KP or wherever.
KP or
yeah.
wherever.
Yep. Because I'll just take the cape.
Yep.
And so yeah.
Well, like even if I shoot a doe, you still want the hide?
No.
Okay.
Nope. If you're gonna do a European mount and it doesn't have a nice cape,
I mean, I just figure I'll just bring my deer to you anyway, just show it off.
Yeah, and that's great.
You know?
I love it, man. I'm trying to change, at least in my little neck of the woods, the stigma of deer hunting.
Yeah.
And opening weekend especially, man, I love it. I get the coffee going.
Yeah.
And there'll be like anywhere from 10 to 20 people in the shop at night. Just everybody's telling deer stories, drinking coffee. It's awesome. Like that is how it should be.
Not to like over commercialize this, but it would be fun, especially in your little plot there that you guys have with that shop and the parking. Like if you had like a food truck, little food truck.
That's what Karen's for. I got a coffee
That's
pot.
True.
I got a coffee pot.
You're right.
I got a coffee pot.
Grab a burger from Karen's.
Yeah, exactly. She'll have a huge buffet opening weekend as well.
She's having a big event
this weekend.
Well, this will come out after that. I meant to put that in my weekly Vietnam news, but Youth weekend this weekend, then a
Yep.
break.
Yep.
Then
Youth weekend, then a weekend off, and then rifle season. I'll be around this weekend too.
are you gonna hunt at all before rifle season? Bow hunt?
No, I don't hardly deer hunt anymore, man. It just doesn't.
Doesn't scratch
It
the
just
itch?
doesn't do it for me. It just. I love.
Been duck hunting, right? Did you guys do a bit of that last
youth
year?
season. Went youth season with my little brothers. I duck
Yep.
hunt a little bit.
Yep.
Waterfowl's fun.
Yep.
I like hunting coyotes at night. If I'm not turkey hunting, I like to be fishing on the river or hunting coyotes at
I'm
night.
assuming you haven't.
Thermal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go coyote hunting with you. So we've been having coyote and fox issues out on my grandma's
Yeah.
farm, grabbing chickens.
Yeah.
And so this last year, I came over to y'all's house, sighted in my super dangerous gun. And then the next day, took it out to the farm, sat on a fence corner, and smacked this mouse call.
Yeah.
Called it in. Wild, right? Like, again, this is back to me like going, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to do this. And
Yeah.
I look through the scope and that's a wolf. It's for sure a wolf. And it is staring at me. Stare it down. Got the coyote. I was like, I could do this, especially since they're getting after, cattle and things like that. Oh, I'm a big scaredy cat, as I've probably communicated in this podcast already. You seen a mountain lion yet?
Nope.
You're hearing about them though.
Yeah, but not. Dude, I'm going to tell you something. There is trail cameras on every dang tree in the woods now. When there is one cat moving through, it's on every trail camera for the most part.
Yeah.
There is.
And for the most part, they're moving through.
They are adult males, young adult males.
Yep. Who just got kicked out by their mom.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're on a journey.
Yeah.
And they've wandered a ways, but they're on a journey. I mean, here's the deal. If there was a breeding population of, I'm gonna make, there's probably, I don't know if anybody is gonna listen that's gonna have a real opinion, because a lot of the old timers will say there's a breeding population of mountain lions
In Missouri.
in Missouri. 30 years ago, you could have said it, because there's no way to say one way or another. There's no way. There's no way. There is dude, the amount of trail cameras in the woods now, like anymore people go hunting and they already know what deer are there. They know what deer they're going to shoot. Like there's no such thing as like hardly a surprise anymore.
Yeah.
If there is a mountain lion living there, at least one time per year, you're going to get a picture. And then especially breeding population implies that there's male, female, and cubs. And then that's going to continue, a breeding population is pretty quickly going to take off.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's a cat. So
it just isn't. People are like, the conservation department, which I am not. MDC has made me very angry the last couple of years, so I'm not like standing up for them. But MDC brought in mountain lions. No, they did not.
they didn't.
No, they did not.
Did we
Why?
trade turkeys
Why?
for rattlesnakes with Texas one year? Does that sound right? I heard that.
I can't remember what
Did we bring in rattlesnakes?
we traded for turkeys.
I heard we traded turkeys for rattlesnakes in Texas.
No, why? What?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never heard that before. There was a lot of trading went on for turkeys, but I don't think rattlesnakes. Man, I wish we could have a whole podcast just to the history of the wild turkey. People would be amazed. The fact that we have turkeys now, the North American model of wildlife conservation is incredible. The way that hunt, like, we love to hunt things, but the way that hunters realized what was happening and stopped market hunting and decided, all right, we're going to protect it. And then we've used biology to, set our limits, set our seasons, and to have the resources that we have now in the wildlife is just, it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. People don't realize what it took to get turkeys like we have now. People have no idea what it took to get there, because we basically wiped them off the face of the earth.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. There was like remote swamps in Mississippi still had them. There was a couple. Wow. There was a couple places in Alabama where they had like they had like big. It wasn't a park. It was a donated area for that purpose, like 5,000 acres or something. Is actually the father of the guy that started Mossy Oak, I believe. Fox Hayes. Anyways, they're drawing out of one or two places to get Eastern turkeys to distribute.
And now they're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's went down since the 90s and early 2000s. Just, there's a direct correlation between trapping prices and turkey population. The higher the trapping prices, the higher the turkey population, because there's less coons and possums. But Yeah,
That's
that's
their main predator.
that is their main nest predator.
Got it.
So people get really fired up about coyotes and bobcats on turkeys. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but when you lose 75 to 80% of your nest to a coon coming in and eating all the eggs, if you can come in and trap the crap out of them, and I'm talking, I mean, we caught 100 on a 200-acre piece. We caught 100 in a year, and we trapped it before that. If you come in and absolutely, you make it to where that hen can raise a nest, and you get that number from 20% nest success to 50 or 75. I don't care how many coyotes or bobcats you have. Once them poults can fly, once they can roost and fly, your numbers are going to double and triple.
Now I want to go get rid of all the raccoons on the farm too.
Yeah, yeah. I don't.
Would you hunt those or just trap those?
Yes,
Both.
yeah. And I don't hate. I mean, like when I was 16 and 17, I sold them.
Yeah.
Like I don't hate coons. And if we had a reasonable population and they had predators, like I wouldn't go out and like I'm not trying to extinguish them.
Yeah.
The main thing is I like to go in, and again, it's just from a wildlife management standpoint. I like to go in after the kits have been born, so that what I'm catching is going to take care of. Because they usually have their kits, I think, in the fall.
My raccoons.
Yeah. They have their kits either in the fall or the winter. So if you trap after that, you are catching mama and babies instead of if you're trapping, when would that be? Whenever she's pregnant, then a lot of them are still going to have kids, and there's going to be more of them running around. But yep. So yeah, youth season this weekend.
Yep.
I'll be around. I'll be taking in deer. My phone number is 573-881-0681.
Best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, call me or shoot me.
We'll put the link and everything in
text
here.
is
You've
great.
got, like, website or anything, or
I got a Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take your Facebook page, put your phone number in there.
Yeah. If I don't answer, it's probably because I'm skinning something. So just shoot me. A text is great, and I will answer as soon as I possibly can. Yeah, and we'll go from there. But yeah, that's my phone number. And I mean, pretty much, I don't live very far from the shop. So like, I'll have people call me at 8:00. It's like, hey, I shot this deer. And especially I am of the mindset that I would rather your cape be good than me get a couple extra hours of sleep. So like, if you shoot one and you find it late, call me. Yeah. Call me and we can figure something out, because you need to get it in the freezer. And while we're on this subject, you want to talk about, what you should do? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Here's what you shouldn't do. Here's what you shouldn't do. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Stop washing your deer off with the garden hose. Water and blood, dirt is the enemy. That is what breeds bacteria in a hide. Okay?
Huh.
You get it wet, you start that bacteria growth way sooner. Stop. A little bit of blood, the blood from when it died, not going to hurt a thing. It's going to come out when they tan it. Stop washing off your deer. Because what happens is, especially if you caped it yourself and stick it in the freezer, and then you bring it to me and I have to wait for it to thaw before I can go ahead and actually get the skin removed from the head, it takes like a day and a half. Well, that deer is sitting there in that water and the bacteria is starting. And it is a challenge to not have a hide go bad if it's been washed.
Wow.
It's a challenge, like to the point where now, before I put them in the freezer, I wipe off all the blood I can. If there's water, I'll take a towel and dry them to get them as dry as I possibly can.
And then you send them off to a tanner?
I send some, yeah, man, I was talking about stress and like learning, dude, so I had my tannery guy last year told me he was going to do 30 or 40. He's the guy that I've always used. So I sent the first 20 or 30 to a place in Michigan. And they did a really good job. And then my guy that said he's going to do 30 or 40 proceeded to do three in the course of about 11 months. So I had scrambling to find somebody else, and this other guy's not doing a super great job. So I'm working through. I'm actually gonna learn how to tan them myself. I'm sending some to Michigan this year. I'm just gonna take care of it.
You like ship them, or do you drive them up yourself?
They actually have a semi. They have a freezer semi that drives all over the United States picking up hides. So I met him in Boonville this week.
Very cool.
Yep. They do a nice job.
Anybody asked you to taxidermy their pet?
No.
Would you?
No. Not doing that. It's so Well, for one, like if you want your pet to look like your pet, you're probably you should be paying probably between $5,000 and $10,000 because like it is what they probably will have to do is skin your pet and then make a mold of your pet's body, custom make that form, custom sculpt it. Everything is custom. Like
$5 to $10,000.
yeah,
I know people who would do that.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, that answers my question because I was like, what do I do when Henry, who owns Henry's, I won't taxidermy.
Get him tanned, I guess. I'm just kidding, man. It'd be a lot cheaper. Dude, if you think they haven't seen a dog probably come through at the tannery,
Sure they
I guarantee you they have.
Yeah.
There's a gal I used to sell hides to. She had a bunch of feral cats she'd tanned on her wall. Yeah, it was interesting. I
Was
said,
she
"What?"
single? Was this back in your Tinder days?
No,
Okay.
I was probably 15.
Oh, okay.
It was before I could drive, I think.
You still got that tracker?
No,
That is like one of my corest memories of you is you and that Geo tracker.
yeah, man.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to tell the people?
Oh man.
What you like living about? What's your favorite part of living in Fayette besides family?
There has been there's another instance. Dad and I ended up being the trap coaches for the Fayette trap team this year. There are issues. I think there are issues anywhere that you live. There's going to be problems because we're sinners, because humans are human. Somebody's going to make you mad. Somebody's going to do whatever, whether it's in your church or your school or your job or whatever. There's going to be things you can complain about, but man, this community, especially the outdoor segment of our community, the hunters, the farmers, when they are needed, and they are needed fairly often for support, are way more integral, I think, than people will ever know. So like we got $4,000 from American Sportsmen Forever, which is run by like John Alphen and Bart Ballou. $4,000, man. And they gave that to New Franklin and Glasgow. So like they do an annual coyote hunt, and then they do some other stuff to raise money. And like that is purely like that's hunting money that they funded. So like we didn't have, the kids, they probably maybe paid for 100 or 200 shells this year and everything else was provided. Clay pigeons were provided. There's just a lot of, I'm struggling to think of it now. Like, somebody gets cancer and they do a benefit and they'll raise $50,000.
Yeah.
$50,000, man.
Yep.
And there's 2,688 people lives in this town.
Yep.
So
yeah, the school asks for just about anything.
Yeah,
He's like, sure, we'll buy Mallory Gosa's cinnamon rolls for $5,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or no, it's the Amy Busker cookies.
That's
is
right.
What it
That's
is.
right.
Logan's outbidding whoever for those.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I guess that would be my answer is this community, whether you like everybody or not, and you're not going to, that's just reality. Man, when bad things happen, I've never been underwhelmed by the community's response to take care of each other, regardless of if it's somebody you know real well or not.
Yeah.
It's always been a great response.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm glad you're back here. When I moved back and then you moved back shortly after, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. So
it was awesome to leave. I was gone for 6 or 7 years and it was great. And I needed to. I met a ton of people, figure out who I was, like who, not Joey's son, but me, Tyler.
Yep.
But it's good to be back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good people that live here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I've been all over the United States, and Southeast Howard County is as pretty as it gets. It doesn't get any better for me. Other people can disagree and they can be wrong. It's fine.
Well, most people who don't agree with statements like that usually just haven't spent enough time outside. Just need to go spend more time outside.
Yeah.
Spend some time in the woods.
Touch the ground.
Look up. Yeah. Touch grass.
Touch
look
the grass.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I agree. All right, man. Well, again, if you shoot a deer, go see Tyler this year.
Absolutely. Or waterfowl this fall. Taking in waterfowl.
Okay. Waterfowl too. Okay. Not your pets. That's not for
your
him.
pets, but about I'm not messing with bobcats and coyotes, but everything else. You shoot an elk, antelope, deer.
Yep.
Go to Africa. If you go to like a mountain of fallow deer, I think this afternoon from Spain.
Wow.
Yeah. if you can get the hide back and the horns,
Yeah. Dude, I can barely get a pineapple back from Hawaii. So. Yeah. But
Yeah,
no,
man.
I mean, glad you got a business here. Busker Bros Taxidermy. You can find him on Facebook. He said his phone number a couple of times, so we'll put that in the link too.
Yeah.
And dude, let's go hunting sometime.
Yeah,
we need
I
to
would do it.
We need to.
if you respond to the email sent, I don't know if you saw that. There's a section in there. If you put any links for websites, anything like that, I can put that in the description of the episode.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I was working on the antelope last night.
Yeah, he was up
It's
until
okay.
2 working on
I will
that
need you to
envelope.
do that though, so I have a description of you for the episode.
Yeah, just to
I
give us
think
a
I
little
filled it.
background.
I think I answered it. I just must not answered that part.
Okay. Either way, we'll get
Sorry.
it figured out. But
Okay.
all right, man. Appreciate you, Tyler.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
Outro music.
Outro music.